Hello, so friends, welcome back to another sewing episode. My name is Ajulam. Today I'm going to be showing us how to make this simple and stylish bodice design. So if you're interested, let's get started. The first thing I did was to draft out a basic bodice pattern, as you can see, and I'm going to be starting with the front side. So if you don't know how to draft a basic bodice pattern, I already have a video on that, so I'll just drop the link for you to see that. So I went ahead to make visible the midpoint of my armhole curve, as you can see, because that is what I'll be using as a guide to create this design. So just make the point visible and then go down by 0.75 from that point. Now it can be more or less depending on the age that you're making this for. So I am working with a 3-year-old pattern, so you can know how to adjust that if you're making this for older kids. So after doing that, just connect your points as I am doing now. I'll just connect the point from coming down from that midpoint of the armhole, connect it. So from there now we'll create the design. All right, so I'm going to measure what I have or what I use as the neck width. I'll just take it down to that point. So I use 2 inches. I'll just mark it down on the new line that I just marked now. Mark the 2 inches on both sides. All right, and then I'm going to be connecting the point to create the yoke part. So this is going to be the new neckline and also the yoke part. Then I'm going to be marking out 1 inch. This is the yoke part. I want mine to be very small, so on that shoulder slope I went ahead to mark out 1 inch, and then I'm going to connect it to that 2 inches that I marked down to create the new neckline, which is going to serve as the yoke part. Now this little curve that I have there is going to be for the yoke, as you can see the way it is on the thumbnail. So this is going to be the yoke part. So I'll just quickly connect the point. You can see I just leveled it, the yoke. So after doing that, I'll just go ahead to create the rest of the design. This is very easy. So just on the waistline I went up by 1.75. again, like I said, it all depends on what you have in mind. If you want yours to be more bigger, you can just use 2 inches, but I am using 1.75. so after connecting the point, I'll just make it visible. So at the end of the day, this is going to go out, but not quickly, because I'll be using this pattern to cut out on my fabric before cutting out the part that will be going off. I'll also show us during the process. Okay, so I went ahead to connect the points together. After connecting, now we are going to create the design on the front side. This is very easy. You can actually make this in less than 10 minutes. All you need to do is just to work with your own measurement, but follow the process. Now on that point, now you can decide how small you want the design to be. If you want it too bold, it's up to you. So I tried using 2.5, then it didn't give me exactly what I want, so I ended up using 3 inches because I want the design to be really visible. Okay, so here I am marking 2.75, but I ended up using 3 inches, after which I will now connect it to create the shape that I want. So at this point, I'm trying to make mine 3 inches so that it is going to be very bold the way I want it to be. So I'll go ahead and connect the point from that center line, as you can see right there, to just connect it to create the shape that we want to achieve. And that is how easy it is to draft this design. All right, so I'm going to repeat the same on the other side, and you can see what I have there. So at the end of the day, some parts will go off while some will still remain. Okay, so just keep on watching, and I'll also explain a bit on how to go about the back pattern. All right, before we move on to the back side, I would like to remind us that our online classes are on. We have the beginner class, the intermediate, the advanced, the cupcake. We have different classes for different level in sewing. So if you're interested in any of them, kindly send me a WhatsApp message for more details about the classes. All right, moving on to the back pattern, you can see that I'm repeating what I did on the front by making the half of my armhole measurement visible, and I marked 0.75 downward. So I will just measure what I have from the shoulder line to the zipper side, just to have it on a straight line, and then connect the point. Now you can see that the back is a little different. That is for the neck. The neckline is a little different from the front one, but the design is going to be the same. The only difference is the neckline. So now this part that I'm writing now is the yoke, like I said, and then I'm going to be adding a button to this. So all I need to do is just to use my armhole curve just to create a little curve right there. This is where my button will sit, while the other end is going to be the zipper part. So I'll just quickly connect from the neckline to the new line that we have now, just to create a little shape there, and I'll be adding my button on that part. Okay, so from there now, that end, I'll just go up again from the waistline. Remember, I am working with 1.75. just mark that straight. It is exactly what I did on the front side, so I am just repeating that on the back. Like I said, it is just the same thing except for the neckline, which is the yoke part. Every other thing is the same way. All right, so just make sure to recreate this, use your own measurement, but follow the process, and I would really love to see what your own recreation will look like. Okay, so just keep on watching so you can see how to stitch this together. This is the easiest way of making your tulip sleeve. Grab your sleeve pattern. As you can see, I am holding mine. So I'm going to be making the center point visible. Okay, so I'll just make it very visible. That is the center of your sleeve. Just mark it straight down. After marking it straight down, I'm going to measure what I have from one side. Okay, so from the center point now, one side, just measure what you have as I am doing. So whatever you have, you can decide to divide into 3 or into 2, but mine I divided into 2. And then on that point, just make it visible. And then I'll go over to the bicep area, as you can see, and then I'm going to be marking on the other side. Now I will just make it 1 inch. You can also make it 1.5. It all depends on how spacious the bicep area will be at the end of the sewing. So after doing that, just connect your points together and you have your tulip sleeve. You can see that it's very easy. So all you need to do is to cut out 2 pieces of this. You can see I am marking X today. That is 2 pieces of that. You're going to be using the other one after cutting out to overlap to give you the tulip sleeve that you want to have. So this is the shape I have there. I'm going to use this now to cut out on my fabric and then show us how to sew this beautiful design.